apologize, man, about the late start. Originally, I was going to do this at 4 o'clock, and I had some people come in working on the roof, and I didn't think they were going to get done in time. So it just seemed like everything was trying to keep me from having this live stream with you guys. But it is what it is, man. Everything is always working out for us. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to get up in here before we get started. Man, I'm nervous. This is going to be rough. We're going to go ahead and get started, family. Man, again, I apologize for those of you that were expecting to see this at 4 o'clock. I had some roof work being done, and I didn't think they were going to get done in time. And so I pushed it back to 6 o'clock. That being said, man, this is a grown folk channel. That means this is spiritual boot camp. You know, we talk about real live shit here. You know what I mean? We talk about real live stuff here. Talking about growth and development. This is a place where we can be challenged to deal with some real stuff, challenged to face our real fears and our insecurities and our traumas and our issues. We don't sugarcoat shit over here. You know what I mean? I'm nervous. Pray for me, man. Family, we're talking about judging, man. So often God's had to beat me down over this topic. You know, if you listen to some of my videos in the past, man, I had this thing for people pushing their religious beliefs on us. You know what I mean? People putting everybody in hell because they don't talk like them, dress like them, and all that other crazy bullshit. You know, and then God had to show me, Elijah, sometimes you come across as real judgmental. And that's not my intent, family, at all. You know what I mean? We're going to go deep into judging others today. We're going to go deep into it. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? We have to grow up. We have to understand why we do what we do. That's the only way we're going to heal. That's the only way we're going to grow beyond where we're at. Okay? Years ago, I was out fishing with my uncle. I was a little kid, probably in junior high school at the time. And this guy came walking towards us, looked like a bum, homeless looking. He looked like he was homeless, didn't look like he had anything to him, you know what I mean? And he came walking to his hair, he's all matted and all just beat the hell up, you know what I mean? Clothes tore up and everything. And we was out fishing, and I just had this look on my face. I don't have a poker face at all. You know, what I'm thinking is, it comes through. You know what I mean? I can't hide my thoughts, you know, when it comes to my facial expressions. And I had this, my thoughts was like, motherfucker, don't come over here, ask me for shit. Don't ask me for no fucking money. Don't ask me for no fucking food. Don't even say shit to me. That's what I was thinking in my head. You know, excuse the horns going off in the background. Don't allow the distractions to get you twisted. What's up with you, Remy? What's up with you, love, Anna B? And B. I apologize if I pronounced it wrong. And so I'm out there with my uncle, and we're fishing. And this guy's walking up towards us, and I'm looking at him with this stank face and just like, motherfucker, you better not say shit to me. I'm going to go off on your ass. You say anything to me. We're talking about judging others. And so the guy looked at me, and then he just put his head down. What's up with you, Garrett? And he just walked on over towards my uncle. And I said, yeah, let Uncle Ben talk to his raggedy scrap. You know what I mean? Let Uncle Ben talk to his ass. I ain't got shit to say to him. He ain't got shit to say to me. You know what I mean? I ain't got shit for him. And so it was real windy that day, and we're casting, and stuff just kept coming back. Stuff kept coming back on the shoreline. We're out at the water, at the ocean. And I looked over at my uncle, and he was talking to him. And I was like, man, fuck them. You know what I mean? I just kept doing what I was doing, reeling my shit in, because it kept washing up on shore and kept having to cast it off. And we had a lot of weight on, but the wind just kept bringing it back up on shore. And so a few minutes later, I looked over towards my uncle. He was probably good 25, 30 yards from me. I looked over towards him, and I didn't see the homeless looking guy. I didn't see the dude at all. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. I promise you this. I didn't see where the guy went. And it's like, bro, we're out here at the fucking ocean. Where the fuck that dude go? You know what I mean? It's like, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just casting, just reeling my shit back in. Look over at my uncle. He cast out. And I kid you not, as soon as he cast out, boom, he got into something big. He was reeling it in. I'm like, oh, snap, Uncle Ben in it. You know what I mean? He doing it. He reeling in big fish, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Luck, right? And so I'm reeling my stuff in. It's sitting up on the shore. I'm not catching nothing, can't catch nothing because my stuff is sitting on the shoreline. And I'm reeling it in. I'm like, Uncle Ben just got lucky. You know what I mean? I'm casting out. And I look over it again. He cast out. As soon as stuff hit the water, BAM! He got in something again. I was like, what the heck is this? You know what I mean? I'm like, man, it's just luck. You know, it's just his day. You know what I mean? Stay with me. We're talking about judging. Stay with me. I promise you we're going somewhere today. And some of you are going to get pissed. Some of you are going to get triggered. And it is what it is. And so I'm reeling my stuff back in. And I'm casting out. Trying to set the line and everything. I'm casting out. As soon as this stuff hit in the water, BAM! Like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? And so my stuff is already up on the shoreline already. So it's like I just throw my pole down, walk over to him. It's like, man, what's going on with you? What's up with you, Queen Goddess? What's up with you, Gnosis Gloom? And so I'm talking to my uncle, and he's like, we're fishing wrong. I'm like, what are you talking about? Man, we've been fishing our whole lives. And what to do? He said, no, we're casting with the wind. He told me to cast into the wind. If we cast into the wind, you'll catch fish. And I'm like, all right, whatever. He's like, that's what I'm doing. And I said, all right. So I go back to where I'm at, reel my stuff in, cast it out into the wind, the direction, like my uncle told me, the direction that this homeless looking guy told me to do. And as soon as it hit the water, family, I kid you not, boom, I got in something big. It's like, oh, snap. Big cheesy smile on my face. I'm grinning from ear to ear. I'm trying to fight from laughing, you know what I mean? I'm reeling this bad boy in. There's a big fish, right? I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? And so I put it down, man. I cast back out. As soon as it hit the water, boom. Man, we caught about 25, 30 fish. You know what I mean? Stay with me. And God had to deal with him about that. We're talking about judgment. We're talking about judging others. Here it is. I looked at this guy. I didn't know his circumstances. I didn't know what was going on with him. I looked at this dude because he appeared to be homeless. I looked at this dude because his clothes were all raggedy and tore up and dirty and grimy looking. I looked at this dude because his hair was matted and nappy and all over the fucking place. And I assumed that he didn't have shit to offer me. I assumed he was homeless. I assumed he was a fucking bum. I assumed he was a fucking beggar. And here it is, he's walking towards me and he has this smile on his face, and I'm looking at him with a stank face because I'm in junior high school. What the fuck you smiling at me for? That was my attitude. I was bad as fuck. I had anger issues. I tell you, I kid you not. I had anger issues. And so I'm looking at this dude. It's like, why the fuck you smiling at me? You know what I mean? And so he just walked right on by and went to my uncle, and he shared some knowledge and some wisdom with my uncle. I didn't think he had shit to offer us. This motherfucker didn't have a fishing pole. He didn't even have no fucking shoes. How the fuck he afford a fishing pole? I automatically assumed he didn't have anything to offer us. I automatically assumed he wanted something. I automatically assumed he wanted some money so he could go buy some fucking alcohol. That was my son. That's what I judged this guy of, just by looking at him. Talking to my uncle. I asked my uncle, I said, where did the guy go? He just like disappeared. My uncle said, I don't know. I cast out and I started catching fish. I forgot all about him. And I'm tripping off that because I remembered something my grandmother told me. My grandmother was a diehard Christian. My grandmother told me something about the Bible. It says, beware of who you entertain. Because sometimes you may be entertaining an angel. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. Sometimes you may be entertaining an angel and not even aware of it. See, we look at people by the clothes they wear. We look at people and we judge people by the cars they have, how their hair is, their drip. You know what I mean? We look at people by their bags and we judge people based on the shit that they have and the shit that they don't have. If two people walk towards you, you automatically assume that the nicer dressing person is the nice person. You automatically assume that the clean cut person with the nice Stacey Adams and the three-piece suit and the brim hat, you automatically think either this is motherfucking pimp or this motherfucking businessman. And this dirty, grimy motherfucker ain't nobody. This dirty, grimy motherfucker is somebody that's homeless. Somebody's a drug addict. Somebody's a fucking alcoholic. Somebody ain't got shit. Somebody's gonna beg me for some shit. And so what God had to show me was, Elijah, You've got to grow the fuck up and stop judging motherfuckers. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn. It was a real hard lesson for me because I grew up in a self-righteous Christian household. I grew up in a household where everybody was fucking judging somebody. Everybody was looking down on somebody else. Everybody was condemning somebody to fucking hell. Everybody was condemning somebody as a fucking hoe, as a fucking slut because of the way she wore to church. Not knowing her fucking circumstances at all. They just assumed that because she dressed like that, she was a fucking hoe. Because she dressed like that, she was coming in trying to take somebody's husband. Oh, we going there today. We going there. We going there. And again, this is going to piss some of you off. This is going to trigger some of you. And again, it is what it is. We got to grow the fuck up. We have to grow the fuck up and stop fucking judging. We've got to stop fucking, and we twist judging up and we try to justify it and rationalize it all we fucking want to. That's our fucking ego playing games with us. That's our fucking ego keeping us in the fucking matrix. That's our fucking ego keeping us on that low frequency, on that low fucking vibration, where we're looking down at somebody else, not knowing their fucking story, not knowing what happened to them. See, we don't take the time to talk to people because we don't give a fuck about people. Let the truth be told, if somebody want to come to you and they just dress all nice and you assume that they had some fucking money, you would be willing to listen to their story. But somebody come off the streets with the pants sagging, somebody come off the street looking beat the fuck up, somebody come off the street looking like a fucking hoe, you not gonna look at them as having fucking money. You know that, bitch, what the fuck you want? Get the fuck away from me, fucking skank. We go laugh in our fucking head on people not knowing their fucking story. Automatically putting them in a box. And so, this was a hard lesson for me to learn. A hard lesson for me to learn. And one of the things that God had to deal with me on about this as a young adult was, Elijah, you don't like when these Christian people judge you. Elijah, you don't like when these self-righteous motherfuckers come and they judge you because you rocking crystals. They judge you because you got fucking tattoos. They judge you because you're a fucking Freemason. They judge you because you're a single parent. They got all these fucking judgments against you and don't know a fucking thing about you. This pisses you off. This hurts you. This triggers you, Elijah. Why the fuck does that trigger you so much when all these motherfuckers come at your fucking head judging you so fucking much? Why do you get pissed off at that, Elijah? They don't know the hell you've gone through. They don't know your fucking pain. They don't know the fucking tears you cried. And they judge you fucking harshly. And that pisses you the fuck off. That breaks your heart. Why? And I would sit there and tears would run down my eyes. It's like, God, why are your people so fucking judgmental? God, why are your Christian people so fucking judgmental of me? What the fuck did I do to these people? Now, I've been in black churches, and as many of you are been to a black church, man, you already know what it is. You know what I mean? You know what it is. A black church is a fucking fashion show. A black church, man, you got to be suited and booted. You know what I mean? You got to be booted and suited, dressed. Because if the truth be told, if you want to be part of the inner circle, you got to dress the part. You can't be walking up in there looking like you just came off the fucking street. You have to dress the part. You had to have a nice suit on. You had to have some nice Stacey Adams on. You had to have a nice tie. Your shit had to be coordinated. And if it wasn't, man, people were going to judge you for that. People was going to look at you kind of funny for that. I'm talking about judging other people. And so one of the things that God had to show me was, Elijah, why do y'all judge so fucking much? Elijah, let me tell you why you judge so fucking much. You judge because you got low self-esteem. You judge because you have unresolved issues. You judge out of the basis of your fucking ignorance and fucking arrogance. One of the people that I judged harshly was my father. See, my father murdered my mama when I was 2, right in front of me. My father was abusive towards me and everybody else. And one of the people that I criticized and judged the harshest was my daddy. And I didn't even know his story. I knew what he did. I knew the pain and the hell that he caused me. I knew the pain and the hell that he caused others. And based on that hell, based on that suffering, I judged him. And I judged him without even knowing the pain and the trauma that he went through. I judged him without even knowing the failures, the disappointments, the hurt, the trauma that he was carrying. And so many of, if the truth be told, we sit back and we judge our parents fucking harsh. We go in on our fucking parents. I was a single parent for about 9 years. And God had to show me, Elijah, you're not perfect. Elijah, you made a lot of mistakes. Elijah, you fucked up a hell of a lot. Elijah, when I told you to go left, your ignorant, hard-headed ass went right. How many fucking times? Elijah, when I told you to leave that little nappy-headed girl alone, and you didn't because you was looking at her fucking body. How many times did we go down that fucking path, Elijah? How many times did I tell you to leave them nappy-headed hussies alone? And you didn't. Talking about judging. And when the shit went bad, how many times did I have to come in there and fix shit for you? How many times did you fuck up, Elijah, and I had to come in and play Captain Saberhole and pick your nappy-headed motherfucking hard-headed ass up out the fucking mud, out the fucking dirt, pat you in your fucking back, change your motherfucking diaper, sit your monkey ass down and time out until you grew the fuck up? How many times did we have to go through that process, Elijah? How many times did we go through that? And yet, with all the mistakes we've made, with all the times that God told us not to hook up with this motherfucker and we thought we knew best and we did it anyways, and shit went left fast as fuck. We were suicidal, homicidal. How many times did you get drunk and be sitting over the toilet bowl, throwing up in the fucking toilet bowl, begging and praying to God to help you stop fucking barfing and that you drink no more? God, just help me stop. I won't do it no more. God, please. I'm sorry. And every other fucking weekend after that. You may have been good for 2 weeks. I'll give it a month. But the truth be told, the great majority of us went right back out there, drinking and hoeing again. We just begged God to deliver us from this bullshit. We just begged God to stop us from throwing up, to stop us from crying and the pain and the suffering. And as soon as God delivered us from it, as soon as we got out the bullshit, as soon as we got out the fucking mud, as soon as we got out the fucking dirt, we went right back over there like ain't shit ever fucking happened. We're talking about judging. You see, we're quick to forget about all the times we fucked up. We're quick to forget about all the times we've had to pray and plead with God. God, please, 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 let me make it out of this. Please, 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 please. I promise I won't do this again. Please, 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 God, please. And we're pleading and crying and snotting and begging God to deliver us from this bullshit, to deliver us from this toxic ass relationship, to deliver us from this fucking crazy ass job, to deliver us from fucking homelessness, to deliver us from this abusive relationship, to deliver us from this alcohol, to deliver us from this fucking dope. Whatever it is that we were struggling with, we pleaded and begged God over and over and over. And then we went right back to it. We're talking about judging. We're talking about judging others. But then we want to sit here and act like we ain't never fucked up. And then we want to sit here and act like we've always had our shit straight. Then we want to sit here and act like, man, I've always had my life straight. I've never made a mistake. I've never fucked up. I've never chose the wrong guy. I've never chose the wrong woman. I've never did dope. I've never got drunk and passed the fuck out and begged God to help me get home safely. I've never drunk and drove. I've never been high and drove. I've never invited some stranger into my fucking car. I've never had sex on a one-night stand. We act like we've never done this stupid ass bullshit. And then we want to judge everybody else for not being perfect. We want to judge everybody else for fucking up, for being a failure. Like we wasn't fucking up. You don't know how many times God's had to spare your ass when somebody wants to take you out the fucking box. When somebody wants to put some dope in your alcohol, or slip you a pill. We gotta grow up. What makes you so self-righteous that you can look at other people and judge them? What makes you sit there on your fucking high horse to where you could condemn your mama and daddy for not being perfect, like your motherfucking ass is perfect? Nobody has a baby and that baby comes into the fucking world with a book showing their mom and dad, this is how I need to be raised, this is how I need to be taught, and this is the stuff you're supposed to teach me, and this is how you're supposed to train me, and then nobody has that happen to them. And so we grow up and we raise our babies doing the best that we can. We're gonna fuck up, we're gonna make some mistakes. I had my first daughter, my oldest child. I was 20 years old. 20 years old. I didn't have the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that I have now. Truth be told, the great majority of us, we've grown up a lot after we've had kids. We didn't know what we know now. When your kid came, you didn't have all the answers. You didn't have life figured out. And so you made some mistakes. And it is what it is. That's part of the process, part of the journey. We have to grow up. But we have to stop judging other people. We have to stop judging people because they don't look like you, because they don't talk like you, because they don't act like you, because they don't believe the bullshit you believe. Who fucking cares? That's their fucking life. That's their fucking journey. Judging people is low frequency bullshit. And I don't give a damn how you try to twist it. I don't give a damn how you try to justify it. See, judging, when you look at a judge, What does a judge do? A judge sits on the seat on high. He sits higher than everybody else. She sits on the seat higher than everybody else. The judge looks down on you. The judge has power over your life. The judge has the position and the power to say what's going to happen to you. So they're coming from a place of authority. They're coming from a place of power. And so when you're judging somebody, you're coming from a place of authority. You're coming from a place of power. But who gave you fucking power over somebody else's fucking life? Who gave you fucking authority over another person's life? Who made you judge of them? Oh, we're going to piss some of you off today. We're going to piss some of you off today. And see, what we have to understand is there's a major difference between judging and discernment. See, most of us, we got discernment fucked up. We think we're super spiritual, and I'm discerning my spiritual eye. I'm discerning, and God is telling me da. And no, motherfucker, you're really judging. And you're putting the blame off on God. Source, universe. You're telling you, everybody, God told me that you're a hoe, and God told me da. And it's like, motherfucker, you got all this shit fucking wrong. God didn't tell you this bullshit. Stop fucking lying. Why do we judge other people? Why do we expect other people to be perfect when we know we ourselves aren't perfect? We know that we've never been perfect. But then we get mad at other people for not being perfect. What's up with you, Scorpio mama? We get mad at other people for not being perfect. We demand and expect everybody else to be fucking perfect when we know that we're not perfect. You expect somebody to do what you can't fucking do. You demand and expect motherfuckers to live a perfect life, and you yourself have never lived a fucking perfect life. You've never been a perfect parent, but you demand and expect your parents to be perfect. And you're pissed at them because they didn't save money for your college, and because they didn't teach you this, and they didn't give you this, and all this other stupid ass bullshit. You're mad at your daddy. You're mad at your daddy. Because your daddy wasn't there. You're mad at your mama because of the way your mama raised you. And you judge your daddy for being a deadbeat because he wasn't an active participant in your life. You judge your daddy and you go hard on your fucking daddy because he wasn't there for you. You judge your mama because she was so fucking strict. You judge your mama because she was a fucking hoe trying to make ends meet. You judge your mama because she wasn't nurturing and loving you. And it's the truth be told, you're not loving you. You're not nurturing yourself. If you loved you, you wouldn't be judging. Let me say it again. The issue that the great majority of us have, we've never learned how to love and accept that little kid within us. We've never embraced that little kid inside of us. Oh, we're going there now. We're going there. This is going to piss some of you off. And I'm here for it. We've never embraced that little kid inside of us. We've never loved that little kid inside of us. And so we get mad and we judge everybody else for not loving us. We get mad and judge everybody else because they don't meet our fucking expectations and our standards. And we've never met the expectations and the standards of the kid inside of us. You're mad at your daddy. You hate your daddy because he was never there. And you've rejected and abandoned that little kid inside of you. You've abandoned that little girl inside of you. You've neglected that little girl inside of you. You've ignored and dismissed that little girl inside of you. And you hate your daddy for doing what you have done. Did you catch that? You gotta catch this. You hate your daddy for not being there. You hate your mama for not being there. And you've never been there for that little kid. You judge people harsh. You say they're not loving. They never cared about you. They never loved you. They were never there for you. They never supported you. And motherfucker, shut the fuck up and look at the person in the mirror. Because you never gave a damn about the little kid inside of you. You was never there for the little kid inside of you. The little kid inside of you is screaming, here I am, spend some time with me, here I am, I love you, I just want to spend some time with you, I want to get to know you. And you've abandoned them. You rejected them for the knucklehead on the block. You rejected them for the hoe up the street. You rejected them for the fucking bottle. You rejected them for the fucking pills. You rejected them for the fucking blunt. You rejected them for the fucking music and the fame and every fucking thing else. And you mad at everybody. And you judge this world as being unloving. And this world is so fucking cruel. And motherfuckers are so fucking mean. And motherfuckers are just so fucking heartless and cruel. And motherfucker, have you looked in the fucking mirror? Have you seen the way you treat yourself? But we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about how we've abandoned our hopes and dreams, how we've abandoned the little kid inside of us. We don't want to talk about how we've hurt ourselves. We don't want to talk about how we poisoned ourselves with slamming dope. We don't want to talk about how we poisoned ourselves with this fucking crazy ass fucking music. We don't want to talk about how we poisoned ourselves with the gossip and the hate of other people. We love hearing how other people are fucking up. We love the fucking drama of fucking reality shows. We love seeing how motherfuckers get on TV and make a motherfucking ass of themselves. That hurts us. That hurts us. That hurts us. You can't talk about everybody else hurting you. You can't judge everybody else for hurting you. And ignore all the times you've hurt yourself. Catch this. You're never gonna grow the fuck up. You're never gonna fucking heal until you're honest with your motherfucking self. One of the hard lessons that God had to show me. Elijah, you go through all the hell that you go through. You have all these people judging you. You have all these people looking down on you. Because you judge yourself. Because you're constantly criticizing yourself. You're constantly too hard on your fucking self. You're constantly expecting yourself to be perfect, and when you're not perfect, you tear yourself down for not being perfect. And motherfucker, you need to grow the fuck up and understand you're never gonna be perfect in this life. That's a figment of your fucking imagination. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. Why do you expect yourself to be perfect? All you're doing is setting yourself up for more pain and suffering. All you do is sabotaging yourself every time you expect yourself to be perfect. Because what happens when you're not perfect and you see that you're not perfect, you go in hard on yourself. You tear yourself down. You tell yourself that you ain't shit, that you're a fucking failure. You're a fucking loser because you can't get this fucking right. And you look at yourself and you look at all the relationships you have and you just give up. I'm a fucking failure. I fucking quit. I can't fucking handle this. And you tear yourself down. Why do you think you have to be perfect in the first place? Who told you you had to be perfect? What made you believe that you had to be perfect? One of the things that we do as young adults, we grew up looking at our parents as superheroes. We grew up looking at our parents as, man, they're perfect. They're great. They got life figured out. They're so fucking smart. They're so fucking deep. They're so fucking wise. Until we grow up some more. And we realize our parents aren't as deep as we thought they were. We come to the understanding our parents ain't perfect like I thought they were. My parent, my mama, my daddy, man, they disappointed me because I thought they were all that, and man, they let me down, and they're and then we start hating them and resenting them because we had this imagination in our mind, in our head of how perfect and how great they were. And now we're grown up and we realize that they're fucking dumb as shit. And they're fucking stuck in their fucking pain and their trauma. They never grew the fuck up. They got a lot of unresolved issues. And now we're looking at them out the corner of our fucking eye. Now we looking at them like, motherfucker, you ain't shit. You're a fucking disappointment to me. Because we're judging them. Because they're not meeting our expectations. Funny thing about life is, karma's a bitch sometimes. You reap what you sow. You reap what you motherfucking sow. How you judge, so shall you be judged. That was a hard lesson for me to learn. That was a hard lesson for me to learn. That I'm gonna be judged harshly. Because I judged others harshly. Because I looked at myself as being better than my dad because I didn't kill my kid's mama. I didn't go to prison like my daddy did. And so I'm looking at myself like I was better than my daddy. I'm judging him as being a fucking failure. I'm judging him as a major fucking disappointment. I'm judging him as a fucking embarrassment. To the point I didn't even want to be named after him anymore. So in '95, I legally changed my name. Spent $800 at the time to change my name because I didn't want to be like my daddy. I didn't want to be named after my daddy anymore. Because I judged him harsh. Who are you judging? Who have you been judging? Why do you judge people? Scorpio, yeah, that was a lot of money at the time. But that's how important it was to me. That's how arrogant I was. That's how twisted I was. I'd already had a son, and I named him after me, so the name continues. He's named after my father too, so the name continues. But that's how important it was for me. Because I wanted people to see that at this point, there was a break in the cycle. There was a break in my name was John B. Broadway the Fourth. And my son is John B. Broadway the Fifth. But I want them to show that, man, there's a break. What I mean, there's a break. I'm stopping all the bullshit. There's a change in the Broadway clan. From this point forward. From this point forward. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. My father taught me like 4 things in life. 4 things. I believe it was 4 things. He taught me prison politics. He taught me spread. So you take some fucking top ramen noodles and you hook it up. He taught me how to play handball. And he taught me how to work out prison style without weights. 4 things my father intentionally taught me. 4 things that my father gave me. No, you can't judge politicians either. My father gave me those 4 things. And I was so mad and angry that that's all that he had to give me. I was so mad and angry and just furious. Motherfucker, this is all that you got to give me? Prison politics? How to work out? How to make fucking spread? How to play handball? This is all you got to pass down? I hated my father. I wanted to kill him. And I told him that. I told him if he brought his ass back to California, I had a bullet with his name written on it. Because I judged him so fucking harsh. He didn't deserve to fucking live. I told him he should have died and my mama should have been alive. Everybody's life would have been better had my father died and my mama lived. That's what I told him. I'm talking about judging. And God started working with me on some shit. My shit. My bullshit. I had to grow up and understand that, damn, my father, the person I wanted to kill, the person I hated the most, the person I resented the most, was my greatest teacher. Catch that. He was my greatest teacher. I was angry and mad because all he gave me was those 4 things. I remember taking my kids to the drive-ins in California when they were young. I just got off work and I would pick them every Friday. It was drive-in Friday. You know, we're gonna go to the drive-ins. And I would be dog dead tired, but I would take them. And they would be out there with their cheers and they would have their snacks and their friends would be there. So it was like a gathering place for them. And they would sit there and watch the 2 movies and hang out with their friends. And I would sit in the car and sometimes I would fall asleep because I was so fucking tired. I remember my daughter came to me one time. We're sitting in the vehicle and she woke me up and she said, "Dad, why are you asleep?" I said, "Baby girl, I'm tired. I'm sorry." I said, "I know I told you guys I'll bring you to the movies and we hang out, but here, we're at the movies, you know what I mean? And you guys got your snacks, you guys are hanging out with your friends." I said, "I'm sorry, I'm just too tired. I can't hang with you guys." She's like, "Well, why did we come?" I said, "Because I told you guys we would come. I told you guys I would bring you." She said, "But you're tired." I said, "Me being tired has nothing to do with the fact that I told you guys I would bring you." And she just looked at me and she just started smiling. She said, "Dad, you're such a good dad." She said, "How'd you learn how to be a good dad if you didn't have a good dad? If your dad did all those bad things, how did you learn how to be a good dad?" And I looked at her and I smiled. And this is when it hit me. I said, "You know what?" I said, "Baby girl, I would always think about what my dad would do. Anytime I have to face a decision, anytime I have to make a decision, anytime I have to do something, I think about what my dad would do. And I would do the opposite." And she just started laughing and gave me a hug and went back out there with her friends. That's when it hit me. My dad, without even trying to teach me how to be a good dad, my dad, as violent as he was, as verbally abusive as he was, taught me to be loving, taught me to be nurturing, taught me to be compassionate, taught me to be giving. My dad taught me to be present. Present in my kids' life. Not just going to work and providing for them, but to be present. to sit down and play jacks with my daughter, to play jump rope, to play video games with my son, to go outside and play catch with him, to take the kids out on hikes, to sit down and watch movies and chop it up. My dad, the guy I judged the hardest, the guy I hated the most, taught me the most about life without even trying to. And I had to get past judging him. I had to get past hating him. To come into the understanding, as harsh, as violent as he was, gave me the tools that I needed to be the father that I am, to be the man that I am. Going back to the story where I started, the guy at the ocean, my uncle, the guy I thought was a bum, the guy I thought was homeless, the guy that I thought was a drug addict or alcoholic, the guy that I didn't think had anything to offer humanity. That guy gave my uncle the information he needed so that we could catch fish. That guy that I was looking down on. That guy that I didn't want to say anything to me walked right past me and didn't say anything to me. He went to my uncle, who was more receptive. And he passed the knowledge and the wisdom on to my uncle. Catch that. Catch that. The people that you judge, the people that you look down on, you gotta use those same people to bless somebody else. God will use those same people that you didn't think was shit, you didn't think had shit, and be a blessing to somebody else. I remember before I even started my YouTube channel, I was on Facebook. I was part of a reading group, and we did a bunch of tarot cards and just readings, charms, pendulums, and I did like maybe 500 different readings, just a blessing to so many people. And this young lady and this young guy came on, and this young lady had been following me for a while, for a couple of years. And I spoke life into her and just helped her out so much. And she found out that I was a Mason, a Freemason. And all of a sudden, the whole story flipped. Now she couldn't hear shit I had to say. She didn't want to accept shit I had to say, because I was a Freemason. She completely ignored and dismissed and minimized all the times that I lifted her spirit, all the times that she was crying and brokenhearted. I encouraged her and helped her. Now, she sees me as a Freemason. And now I ain't shit to her. Now I'm the devil to her. Now I'm the fucking Illuminati to her. Judging others. Judging others. And it's a trip because that hurt, that cut me deep. Because I remembered all the times that I would sit there and talk to her. I remembered the times I would encourage her. I would remember the times that I lifted her spirit and she got off the phone and she was smiling and laughing. But when she got on, she was broken and frustrated and depressed. She was at her wit's end, ready to give up. Start thinking about all the kids that I've been helping, all the other young adults that I've helped just like I helped her. All the people that I encouraged and lifted their spirits and gave them some of the knowledge and wisdom that I had and helped them. All the young people that I gave finances to help them in their college. All the people that I helped, and now I have somebody who I've been there for and helped, and now they're judging me because I'm a Mason. And it's like, I was a Mason before this girl was born. I've been a Mason 30 years. I was a Mason longer than she was alive. And she's trying to tell me how satanic Freemasons are. She's trying to tell me how corrupt and how demonic Freemasons are. And I'm talking to him like, I'm that same guy that you came calling to. I'm that same guy that was encouraging you and lifting you up, and you were saying was a godsend all those times I was blessing you and encouraging you and lifting your spirit. I didn't even know what you was going through. You hadn't even spoken to me yet, but God had already put it in my soul what I needed to tell you. And I didn't even know specifically what you were dealing with. But God, I knew what God told me. And I shared with you what God told me. And it was right on point. Every time I talked to her, I knew what she needed to hear. She was in a totally different state. I was in California at the time. She was in Maryland or somewhere. And that hurt. Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn, all the times I helped this person, all the times I've been there for this person, all the times I've blessed this person, and now they're judging me. And they're judging me out of their fucking ignorance. See, the knowledge and the understanding that I had was great for her when she was going through some shit. The stuff that I had for her, the knowledge, the wisdom, the connection to God that I had, that was blessing her and encouraging her, keeping her going and uplifting her and getting her through her rough days and da-da-da-da. That was great when she needed it. Why did I talk about that? Because we live in a generation now. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? If you're not doing anything for me right here, right now, if you're not giving me what I need right here, and it's not even what I need, it's what I want. Right here, right now, then you ain't shit. If you're not taking care of me the way I want you to, if you're not putting money on my fucking books, if you're not giving me the finances and buying me the purses and the bags and the whoop like I want you to, then you ain't doing shit for me. You can't do shit for me. And there's so many of you young women that think that just because a guy won't spoil you financially like that, or because he can't spoil you financially like that, like he ain't got shit to offer you. You're judging him on his financial status. And you're thinking that's all that there is to him. You're judging him on the fact that he ain't got a car or he's driving a hoopty now. Your raggedy ass ain't got shit. Or you may have a nicer car than he do, but you're still judging him, thinking he ain't going nowhere. And he ain't got shit to offer nobody. Don't nobody want him. Because you're judging where he's at right now, financially. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, I hope and pray that I said something to encourage you guys, to inspire you guys, to even challenge you guys' way of thinking. Thank you guys for rocking out with me. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.